But in the meantime, we are going to hear a very special story from a very special man. Please welcome to the stage Andy Mattfield.
What's up, guys? I'm going to start this off by just letting you know I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. We're going to get through this. Everything is fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm going to say this to everyone. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. You guys get the truth. My mom really liked smoking weed. Yeah. She was a dank old grandma, you could say. She liked it so much, but we were also like really poor growing up. So like we weren't like super poor. We were poor enough that we lived in a trailer house, but like rich enough that it was a double wide. We had that dynamic going. But my mom used to grow weed in the backyard, and I was such a nerd. I didn't have to go to Dare. You guys ever heard of that? Yeah. They were just like, you know, you go home and play Nintendo for a week. Come back afterwards. So she grew it in the backyard, and me and my sister had no idea. Like, we had no idea she was growing weed. We thought it was catnip because that's what she told us. It was catnip. And whenever it was ready to harvest, she'd be like, those damn raccoons again. and the raccoons that I thought loved catnip because I thought they were cats. They're not. Or maybe they are. I don't know. I still don't know. And then like Christmas time, she would always say, "Oh, I'm growing tomatoes. I'm growing tomatoes." So that if we caught those, otherwise it was, "Don't go into my closet. Your Christmas presents are in there." And I had no idea my mom was liked pot a lot. I had no idea. I had no clue. And then about 5-6 years ago, she got arrested for DUI for prescription pills, which I guess marijuana is a gateway drug. If I would have gone to Dare, I would have known that. So I was reading through her court arrest, and it said, "Not small amount marijuana." Like that's exactly what it said. Like it wasn't an ounce, 3 ounce. It was not small amount marijuana. And at that moment, I was like, okay, my mom is a baller now, I guess. This is what she's doing. Remember, I'm okay. This is, my mom died last month. She went outside to smoke, like she did every morning to ease her pain and anxiety, and her heart skipped its last beat. It just was like, I'm cutting out early, and that was it. So my sister had to be the one to tell me this. She called me while I was at work, and I can't imagine what it's like to have to make that phone call, but she told me, and obviously I was devastated. I was mad, I was sad, I was down here, my mom's from Big Fork. I got in my car and I drove. I drove, and over the course of 4 hours, I listened to the same song for 3 hours, and then I was like, let's give that brand new album a spin. That has been weird timing, but it was great. Throughout that time, though, I was like mad and sad at the same time. Like mad that I didn't get the time to be mad at my mom. Like I had 2 years planned. I was going to be mad at her for 2 more years. And then I was going to forgive her. She was going to be 65, everything was going to be fine. But she died. So I was sad, and I was by her house like a week before, and I didn't make the time to see her because I was still mad. So we get to her house, and we help find her cat, which is an insane cat, and we found her, whatever. And we spent like an hour and a half looking for this damn cat. And it's because my brother-in-law apparently can't see orange. It was very easily spotted. I found it within like 10 minutes of looking in a spot he said he looked. But we found it. And the drive home, we're driving and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And there was an eagle eating a skunk with some crows, which seems like a normal event, but when we were kids, my mom used to take us to see eagles, so we'd like go look at nests and stuff like that. That was like one of the weird things we'd do. And when she was a kid, she had a crow as a pet. She used to tell us how it always used to like steal her shiny trinkets and things like that. And then she loved the smell of skunk because she loved weed. So as we're driving past us, the eagle like takes off and it flies with our cars until we hit the corner of Bed, which is probably like maybe a quarter of a mile. And me and my sister feel like this great, okay, everything's going to work out, everything's going to be okay. So my sister tells me later that night that when the officer found her, they found her with a small amount of marijuana and some paraphernalia, and they told us to throw it away. So the next day, once we figured out where she was, because she died in a really small area, and bodies go different places up there, I guess. It took us like half the day. We figured out where we were going to put her, and we went back up to their house, and we start just trying to, we knew that she had weed, and we didn't want my nephews to see it, so we started just trying to find the weed. And I'm digging through this drawer by her side of her bed, and I was like, oh, here it is, and I find like a giant pill bottle of weed. And my sister's like, what are we going to do with this? She's like, do we smoke it? Do we get, like, we don't, neither of us smoke. So it was like, for us, it was just like, okay, maybe it's time. Do we start now? Do we give it to a friend? We don't know. We're not sure. So we decide, we'll think about it. And not even 5 minutes later, my sister comes up to me and she goes, do we cremate this with Mom? And I was like, 100% that is what we're doing. From now on, that is the game plan. So we clean out some stuff, we dig around, we find a little bit more, we find a dugout, which I'm like, we can sneak that in, that'll work. And we start plotting how we're going to sneak drugs into a funeral home. So I'm like, all right, I'm thinking about ideas like sneaky stuff, like we're bringing in like memories and letters, like we're not mad anymore, here's our letters and it's gonna be gone. So we bring that in and I'm like, all right, we should put it in a box with a fake bottom, and my sister's like, no, I got this. She bought a box of Junior Mints, and we ate some of the Junior Mints, and then we poured the dugout into the Junior Mints box, and we closed it and put some tissues in there so it didn't smell. And so we tossed it on top of my mom's body. So we're viewing the body and we're telling all these stories, like all the stuff that like we were mad about when we were kids, but now that we find like really funny. And we're laughing and we're eating candy over my mom's body, which it sounds really weird, but if you've ever been told over my dead body, like that was applicable at that moment. For me, it was a real niche moment. And we decide we're gonna put all the stuff that she loved, like she loved this blanket and some pictures that she loved and stuff like that. And my nephews had these little, like each one of them did a trinket. One of them, the youngest one brought a rock. The next youngest one drew a picture, and the oldest one, one of the oldest one put like a sock or something. He's cool. He's a cool kid. The third one, he put a note on a board that he broke in Taekwondo, which was pretty touching. We looked at the picture that my youngest nephew had drawn, and my sister's like, yeah, he drew this flower. And I look at it like, that is a pot plant. My 4-year-old nephew drew a pot plant. He had no idea what it was, and we started laughing. And by now we're crying and laughing. And at that moment, my sister looks at me and she goes, do you think they're gonna smell the weed when they cremate her? And I start laughing because I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. And so there's more to it, but that's kind of where I'm going to leave you guys. Maybe I'll tell you guys the other half another time. But that is the story of how me and my sister became afterlife drug smugglers.